It's the grandson of Right Thought. Welcome to the School of Marvelous Life. Listen close to this little flock. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So, what do you use to think? That's right. You use your mind. Now, there are two minds. So then, in other words, you have a choice about which way you want to think in your heart, which is your mind. Hold on. My bad. It was a little chillier out here than I expected, so I had to zip that jacket up. But you have a choice. There are two minds. And remember, as you think in there, so are you. So you become what you think about in your heart or in your mind, which is the heart. You become that. Now the Father, Chaya. What is that word in the Hebrew, Chaya? What does it mean? It means to become. So as a man thinketh in his heart, so he becomes. The Father, I am, means to become. To fall out, to bring forth, to exist. That's what I am means. So when you think about yourself in your heart, you are imaging I am. You are placing an image on him. Are you putting an idolatrous image on him or a true image? Because remember, there are two minds. Now the scripture says one of those minds out of the two is hatred against him. That's what the Father says. One of those minds is fighting against the truth of I am. That mind would be the carnal mind, your fleshly mind. So now, that mind is hatred against God. It's actually fighting against God. Think about your own life and think about the experiences that you've had. Were there times in your life where you were doubting whether you were capable of doing something? Where you were doubting whether you were capable of fulfilling a task or completing some objective? Has that ever happened to you? Now, when you doubted, how did it make you feel? So the feeling you had because of the thoughts you had is what is written, thinking in your heart. Think about those words. As a man thinketh in his heart. Now, when I asked you, where do you do the thinking at? You said your mind. Well, that's because the heart and mind are one, like I've said. When it says heart, it means your feelings. Correct? Isn't that where your feelings come from? Your heart. The issues of your life flow forth from the heart. So the issues that you go through in life come out of your own heart. Because as you thinking in there is who you become, who you chaya. See? Who you chaya. Who you are. Your chaya. Who you are. Who are you becoming? Who have you become? I am, which means becoming. I'm doing it, in other words. If I say I am, that means I'm doing it. Well, when you say I am, it's what your feelings are saying when you give it a thought. So now, the carnal mind is enmity against God. But the spiritual mind is life, peace, joy, unspeakable. So, wait a minute here. The spiritual mind is the correct choice. if I'm choosing between the two. But there are some outside circumstances that want me to believe that that is what is causing me to feel the feelings I'm feeling. So if you knew the wiles of your enemy, then you would catch on and say, wait a minute. If what I think in my heart, so what my thoughts make my feelings feel, is what I become. So then the enemy would attack what I feel. You see that right there? Causing doubt, causing fear, causing any lie. That's all they want to do. Cause you to believe their lie. And Abba has given you his truth, and you can choose to believe that. Well, in order to believe Abba, you have to be spiritually minded about everything that you're experiencing. Are you? Or are you carnally minded? Now, this is easily understood by people who talk about things that they see, things that they're experiencing, that they're seeing. Then they tell you about the things that they see and how it affects them. How the thing that they're seeing affecting them. Prime example of this is gang stalking. They're using direct energy weapons on me. There was a guy in a red car, man, following behind me, man. That means this. That means that. Okay. These are your thoughts and feelings based off of that red car you saw. Or based off of you thought there was a directed energy weapon shot at you. So are you in the spiritual mind or are you in the carnal mind? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Cinderella slipper time. Clickety click. Wow. Landed right on them damn feet. Yep. And it's okay. That's good that they landed on your feet just then, because that lets you say, okay, I've been tripping. I'm giving too much energy to the 3D world. That's the carnal mind. Is the carnal mind 3D? Which one is 3D? The spiritual mind or the carnal? Which one? So then if I'm talking to you and I'm talking to you about outside things, then that means that I'm talking to you about carnal things. But if I'm talking to you about the inside things, see, which is what causes the Cinderella slippers to land on your feet, your inside dealings. Not nothing you did on the outside. The outside is the results. Or as we read, as you think, you become. You don't become and then think something. That's the backwards or perverted way of living. That's what people in the world do. Or as Yahushua said, these things the Gentiles seek after. But you, so if they were all the same, why would he say, but you, be not like unto them? For they decorate the outside. Here we go. They're all about the outside. So if somebody says they follow Yahushua, but yet they're talking to you about the outside, then they're cleaning the outside of the cup, but they're not cleaning the inside. Now, which one produces your outside circumstance? The outside of the cup or the inside of it? What produces your physical look? The food that you eat, whether it has nutrients in it or not how it look on the outside. The food don't make you look some type of way because of how it look on the outside. It makes you look a way because of what's on the inside of it. The results are how you look on the outside. Woo! Can this be denied or is it just true? Then if it's true, say it like that. Say, it's just true, grandson. Let me know you know it's real. That's just the reality. What goes in produces the outside circumstance. You don't look beautiful and then eat junk food and stay looking beautiful. It's just not the way it goes. You'll start to gain weight, get fat, start looking different, feeling different. Well, if you put something different inside, then you get a different outside result. Same thing with your thoughts. You put spiritual thoughts in there, the outside will give you spiritual results. Hold on. Now the flesh mind gives us flesh results. The spiritual mind gives us spiritual results. Now which results are fruitful or profitable to us? And which results are vain? Well, you would all agree with me that the temporary results are the vain ones, but the everlasting results are the profitable ones. Y'all would agree with that? Okay. Now, let's say you learn how to build something with your hands. How long will that skill set bless you? Now let's say you learn how to be a patient person. You learn how. You become patient. How long will that bless you? Okay, well, let's evaluate the two. You're working, like I said, you use your hands to build something. Let's say you're a contractor, so you build houses. Okay? So that works as long as you have the faculty of your body, your limbs, and your mind. But let's say you fall off a ladder there, and you fall, and you hurt your spine and you get paralyzed. Now that skill that you learn how to build that house, can it benefit you now? Can you actually use it to feed yourself or benefit yourself? But now the patience that you learned benefited you when you had full faculty and full use of your mind and everything. It benefited you then. But when you're paralyzed, it damn sure is benefiting you to be patient. So which one was the more valuable skill to learn? Patience or how to hammer that nail in? Remember what Paul said when he said, physical or bodily exercise profiteth a little. So the profit a little. Yeah, temporary blessings profit a little. If you work out right now and you say you bench press and you're bench pressing 225 today, and then you stop bench pressing for, let's say, 2 months, and then you go back to that bench, are you going to be able to bench press 225 for the same amount of reps that you did when you first started? Before you took the 2 months off? Or did your strength decrease and you have to build it back up? Yeah. But once you learned how to be patient, did you have to go back and build that muscle back up? Or once you learned it, you obtained it, and you sold all the nonsense because you had obtained the pearl, you have obtained the pearl of great price. The gift that keeps on giving. If it wasn't giving you anything, you wouldn't have sold everything else that you had, but you did. So what did you sell everything else for? You sold everything else for the spiritual mind. To gain it, which is wisdom. That's the spiritual mind. That's wisdom. So when you're looking at something, the spiritual mind is telling you the truth of what you're looking at. The carnal mind is lying to you every time about what you're looking at. Hear that, flock? The 3D mind is going to lie to you about what you're looking at. It always does. It still kills and destroys. That's all it does. Once you accept that, and once you know that, and gain the wisdom of that, then you can turn away from the carnal mind every time it speaks to you, because you're aware that it only wants to steal something from you, lie to you, or kill you. That's all it wants to do. If you were in a circumstance where somebody had a gun on you, and you were thinking with the carnal mind, then you would think to save your life. So you talk a lot and beg and cry and plead and do all kind of shit, and still get shot. Pow! Still end up dead. So you sought to save your life and you lost it. But if you give your life up, you just do like Yahushua did and you just remain silent and don't say anything. Don't act with any type of adrenaline and fear. You see that today? You don't respond with adrenaline and fear, then what? No panic sets in, no fear sets in, no lies creep in. Watch this. I'll tell you what I mean. When they came and arrested Yahushua, he made it clear to them that he knew and understood that they weren't taking him, nor were they killing him. He was giving his life. You hear that today? He was giving it up willingly and freely. So the 3D was trying to make it look like they had power over him, wasn't it? I mean, didn't it? What's up, bro? They came, they took him in the middle of the night, they arrested him, they beat him up, they blindfolded him, they mocked him. They did all of those things. Doesn't that look like he doesn't have any power? Doesn't it look like he's in a hopeless situation? Doesn't it look like he's in a uncomfortable case, to say the least? He's being stripped naked, hung up there, spat upon, bore false witness against, lied and smear campaigned. Everything that you say that you're going through, little flock, everything that you say you're going through, tell me it's not true. You say people lie on you. Did they lie on him? Did he tell you that they hate him before they hate you? So then why are you taking your eyes off of him and focusing on the 3D as if that has some type of power over you, when he demonstrated power by submitting and giving his life up? He found the truth. Yo, I can't die. So if you try to take my life, I'll just take it back. That's what he said. So he had to prove it. He had to be the first fruit to demonstrate that truth to man, so he could stop being afraid. What did Christ come to deliver you from if it's not your fears? Bringing you into perfect love. So now, if you as a person walk around with a fearful attitude, how do you think you're going to interpret what you see? In truth or in lies? How many times have you had a dog or even a child maybe that was around you, that when they got around you, they acted very timid and shy and afraid? And you were trying to convince this child or animal or whatever that you meant no harm. I'm not going to hurt you. How many times have you had to say that to something or somebody? I'm not going to hurt you, baby. Come in. Come on. I won't hurt you. I mean you no harm. But they're not convinced because they're in fear. So you have to slowly convince them by being trustworthy, honest. That's what will bring them out of their fears. Do you think if you lie to that child or that dog or whatever, that they'll come out of their fear, or that they will remain in it? So what did Christ say? The truth makes you free. See what I'm trying to explain to you there? It makes you free from the lie that got you. Fears are bondage. That's chains on you. That's what stopped you from moving. Ain't that what a chain do? So when you're about to do something, you say, oh no, man, because what if this happens? What if? I told you. That's just some nigga in your ear, man, trying to steal something from you. His name is What If. It's a couple of them. He one of them. One of the naysayers and haters. He the biggest hater. What If is. He hates on every plan that you come up with. Because every time that you want to do good, evil is present with you. Evil is that nigga What If and all his friends. See? All his friends. That's the evil that comes when you want to do something good. And something good is something that's loving. Something that's true. Something that edifies, uplifts. Everything that brings something down, that kills or destroys, then you know where it comes from. Because he told you, your enemy does that. It don't do nothing but that. He only comes for those reasons. So then when your 3D mind is talking to you, what is he trying to do to you? Steal something, kill something, or destroy something? Or does it come for any other reason? If you say he's coming for another reason, then you don't believe Christ. So stop saying you do, because you don't. In order to say you believe him, or that you do things in his name, that means that you do things the way he did it. That's all it means. I can't say I believe him and do something opposite of what he would do. Nope. Nope. It's not the way it works. So you have to face the circumstance you're looking at the way Yahusha would. Well, what did he do when he was attacked? Like a sheep before the shearers openeth not his mouth. So what do they tell you when they come? The Romans come. You have the right to remain silent. Yahusha exercised that right. So what do you think you should do? Understanding that they don't have power over you. You can't take me unless Abba says that you can. Not because you think you can. That ain't got nothing to do with whether or not you got power over me or not. You don't take nothing from me, but I give it up. See that? So then when people come to you, do you believe they're coming to steal something from you or take something from you? Or do you know that they can't? Because you have to give it up. Silaman Mr. Allah.